everybody, welcome back to SoCal Exploring, whether you're listening to this podcast on Spotify or you're watching on YouTube. What's up, everybody? You can see me. Today we have a fun one. Well, I'm sure that all of you Halloween Horror Nights fans have seen both speculation maps from both the East Coast and the West Coast. And, well, if you haven't, then you are in luck today. Because in today's podcast, we are going to be talking about Halloween Horror Nights 30 in Orlando. And what better way to do it than with Mr. LoshTV himself, who creates content surrounding all things HHN Orlando related. Please welcome to the podcast today, Adrian from LoshTV.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey, man, what's going on? It's been a long time coming that we talk on a podcast.
Honestly.
And with the recent announcement that I'm going to be doing Halloween Horror Nights Orlando coverage, and I'm going over there. Adrian is a good friend that I've talked with virtually, but we'll meet up at the event.
Yeah, for sure.
So you'll be seeing future videos with us, and rumors have it that he's planning to come down to California.
We're gonna keep it on the low. No one knows yet.
Yes. As a lot of you know already, I'm going to Halloween Horror Nights 30 this year, and now starting to produce content for Orlando theme parks. I already said that. HHN Nightmares always puts out a speculation map around this time of the year, and for the most part is always 75% right. So Adrian and I will be talking about the speculated lineup for HHN Orlando this year, and our honest thoughts on the mazes in the lineup. Which there's a couple on there that a lot of people have been had mixed feelings about, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, honestly, I know some people that were just completely angry with what showed up, and some people that were completely happy with it too. So.
Yeah, I mean, so it's going to be interesting. I haven't really shared my thoughts on this, nor have I shared my thoughts on the Hollywood one yet. So this will be interesting for you guys to get mine and Adrian's thoughts. Real quickly, before we start the podcast, you can click the follow button on Spotify where you're watching it. The channel is Keep Exploring Podcast. Follow us on social media at SoCal Exploring Media on Instagram and at SoCal Exploring on Twitter. Adrian, where can they find you at?
YouTube.com/C/LoshTV. And then on Twitter, it's King Losh. Yeah. Or Instagram, LoshTV.
What is the meaning behind Losh?
Oh, man. Oh, that's a rough question.
I've always wondered that.
Okay. So, people have always asked me this question. And to be honest, it came to me in a dream. I'm not kidding. I was sleeping one day, and then this word just came and slapped me in the face. And then in middle school...
And then you added TV?
Yeah. In middle school, my whole, Instagram posting, everything was Losh Life. And I was like, I need to change that. So I made it King Losh. And then I was like, I need to make a YouTube channel. Because I love Horror Nights, and I need these people to see Horror Nights. So I made LoshTV.
That's perfect, honestly, because it's one of those names that you don't need to have a meaning behind it at all. It just works. Yeah. So that's cool. How many times do you usually go to the event a year?
Okay. So last year I wanted to try something that I never did before, and I went every single weekend to the event. I think I went about...
That's a lot.
I think I went about 38 nights total.
38 nights. Jeez.
Yeah,
so you went a lot.
Yeah. I love that little event.
That is insane. that is absolutely insane. And I think that me going 8 times to our event down here is a lot.
Yeah.
But 38? Add a 30 to that? That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, did you ever find times that you got bored during it, or?
The only time that I felt indifferent about the event was the one night that I went to a different event beforehand. So we got invited out to Dark Horizon. And we went over there. It was fun, and I enjoyed it. And then when I got to Horror Nights, I was kind of like, this has a totally different vibe. The scare actors were different.
It's really hard to balance 2 different events in one night.
Yeah.
Because I've done it before. I've done Dark Harbor, which is your guys' Dark Horizons.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Harbor, and then go to Halloween Horror Nights, or Scary Farm, and then to go to Horror Nights. I've done that before. And it's so weird. It's just such a weird... You can't really do it in both nights.
Yeah.
It's just a weird...
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling.
It's the weirdest thing ever. It's like...
I know. It's just 2 different qualities, 2 different events.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird thing.
It's still
but
fun.
that's cool that you kept entertained throughout the event, though, no matter what.
It was a really fun experience because we ended up meeting friends at the event and meeting fans because we never really met fans until this year. And I was like, well, subscribers, fans, however you want to say it, but you know what I mean. And it was really shocking.
Yeah, I'm sure you got to talking to a lot of people there because a lot of people noticed that you're going so much.
Yeah.
But I mean, is that something you're thinking about doing this year too?
Well, first place to hear this, I just moved closer to Central Florida. I live down in Miami, and I want to go to the event a lot more this year. And I want to go to other haunts.
That works out.
Yeah.
Yes, the thing is like, with my Orlando trip, because what I'm doing, I haven't announced this yet either. I'm doing Horror Nights on Friday, and then Saturday, when it's supposed to be the busy night, I'm not braving the event at all. I'm just gonna enjoy the day at the park, and then Sunday we're gonna do Horror Nights again. But I want to do something the night of Saturday, so I think I want to try another event around.
Have you thought about Hollow Scream?
That's just a far drive. That's the only thing.
I would literally drive out there with you to go to Hollow Scream. I've never been to Hollow Scream.
I'd be down for it. But yeah, I was like, I want to do Hollow Scream. I don't know. What are there any home haunts or not home haunts? So like little small local haunts.
There's the 13th floor that's in Jacksonville. There's Ominous Descent, which everyone loves. I haven't been there. Everyone loves it. There's a bunch of haunts. I can't remember right now. I know there's a forest. Is it Petrified Forest? I believe it's Petrified Forest. Petrified Forest is here in, I think it's in the Land or something, which is about 30 minutes from Orlando. It's not that bad. It's not that far.
It's interesting. It seems like Orlando has, because the one big thing that I've looked into is HHN Orlando and Tampa Bay, which is Hollow Scream. Yeah. So I've never really looked into other like small haunts like that. Like we have small haunts over here, like Reign of Terror. We have the Haunted Hayride, but like you wouldn't know about those unless you live in California, and like I wouldn't know about those.
Like, I've learned about them through like channels like yours, TLEV, and Nights of Horror. That's how I learned about all the other haunts that were in California. Yeah. So I'm like, oh wow, there's a lot more there than just this.
Yeah, and for me, I've never really watched Orlando YouTubers as much. The most I watch is like Tim Tracker and like all the people that go over from here to Orlando. So the way that I met you and saw Eddie and everybody else, and actually, I met Chris like a long time ago. Oh, wow, I'd say like a year and a half ago. But like you and Eddie, like Nights of Horror got us involved. So that's how I know about you guys, and I started watching your guys' content from like Halloween Hornets back then. So. Yeah. Interesting stuff, you know.
You can call the Nights of Horror the little Nick Fury of horror.
Exactly. I always bring. I'm sure he loves these shout-outs. I bring him up in like every podcast when I talk about Orlando or podcasting. So I'm new. I'm gonna be new to the Orlando area, and I plan to make multiple trips out next year. This year it'll just be the one trip. I plan to make multiple trips out next year. Does it stay hot and humid like throughout the Horror Night season?
So. The one thing that always happens Horror Nights, it's always raining.
Really?
And the one night you forget to bring your umbrella is when it rains harder. It rains harder. It's like so much rain. It's hot, but once like 9 o'clock hits, it's not as hot. 8, 9 when the sun starts going down. 8, 9, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's when it starts to fade out a little bit. But yeah, I've heard rain's a big thing over there, especially at night. So that's going to be interesting to go. Because, I mean, throughout all the Horror Nights nights here in Hollywood, we have one rain night. That's it. Like, literally, we only have, like, one rain night.
I wish. Oh, man. Usually, whenever we have a rain night, I don't know if you know, but we have the sprung tent houses.
Yeah.
Whenever it pours rain, they shut down the sprung tent houses because they flood.
They flood, really?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, it's like here, the one rain night that we have, they shut down all of them.
Oh, wow. That's a heartbreaker.
And it's always funny because, you know, they advertise rain or shine. But that's not true when it actually does rain.
Oh, man. Gotta love Universal in general.
But, I know. One thing that I've been curious about is how exactly does Stay and Scream work? Because, like, we have early entry over here. How does Stay and Scream work out?
Stay and Scream, you buy a day ticket, and you go into the park before, I believe it's 4 or 5 o'clock. The park either closes at 5 or 4. I can't remember right now. I think it's 5. 5. So the park closes at 5, and then you get into the park, and they have these little holding areas. They usually have about 2 or 3. There's one in Finnegan's, which is in New York, which last year led out to Ghostbusters and Stranger Things. And they had The Simpsons, which led out to the Sprungton houses, which were... I'm having a brain fart, wow. Oh, Depths of Fear and Nightingales. And House of a Thousand Corpses. So the 3 Sprungton...
Do you pick the location that you wait in, or do they just let out like the both separate areas?
Well, you can pick where you want to go, and then you just choose if you want to go to this house or that house. Okay,
that makes sense then.
Yeah.
I thought it was like they pick the area for you, and then it's like you have to go into those mazes.
No.
So it's a lot more simple than I thought it was. How much is it to add on to your ticket?
I know that they have I think it's called like a day and night ticket or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, they sell them. They sell them in like the summer, and it's like you add on a day ticket to your regular ticket, and if not, it's like I want to say like $80-$90. I could be way off, but it's like $80-$90 for a regular day ticket, and then yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Not too bad. I know over here we have day-night combo, and it's kind of pricey. And like the tickets over here in Hollywood are a lot more expensive than Orlando, which is kind of weird. Even for like the normal daytime theme parks.
I've noticed that because I've been looking into it. I looked into it last year to try to go out there, and it was way too expensive. Not way too expensive, but it's just it all added up.
Yeah, I mean if you're going like one night and you live in the area like we do, it's kind of worth the price. But like if you're coming from Florida, it's like you really have to save money. Well, I feel like the thing with Florida is like if you're coming from over there down to here, you're gonna spend a lot of money, right? Because we don't have a lot of hotels around Hollywood area. We have the one Hilton, and the Hilton's kind of pricey. With Florida, you guys are in a resort. Tickets are cheaper. There's a lot more hotels around the area. I just feel like the whole... Yeah. I mean, like, you don't want to be staying in some ghetto hotel down here in Hollywood.
Yeah. There's a lot of ghetto hotels up here, too. Fun fact, fun story.
Yeah?
For my birthday about 2 months ago, we went to a hotel in Orlando, and I was like, all right, I'm going to just go to this hotel. It's cheap. Why not? Yeah, we found out we were right next to a prison.
You were scared people were gonna escape.
Well, Nico, the other person that's part of my channel as well, we were both there, and we were like just making prison jokes the whole night. And that's the only way we got through the night. Because if not, we felt so uncomfortable.
I'd be terrified. I would be so terrified. Yeah, I got one of the hotels just like it's right down International Drive, so it looks nice. It's got good reviews. I wanted to get one on property, but I'm only 20, and Orlando is all 21 and over.
I know.
So that kind of sucks. But it is what it is. I think we got a nice hotel. But let's dive right into this speculation map. And like I said, shout out to HHN Nightmares on Twitter. I think his name is Horror Nightmares. I think that's the official @.
Yeah, it's like Horror Nightmares.
Horror Nightmares. It's all over like all the updaters' Twitter pages of the retweet of the map, so I'm sure you guys can find it. But the HHN 30 map, and with all the HHN maps that they create, they're usually, for the most part, correct with a couple tweaks here and there. Now, stuff could always change, and there has been a couple things that have been scrapped already from inside sources. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit, but we'll start off with the actual map. Beetlejuice. What do you think about that?
So honestly, this is something I've always wanted to come to the event. Call me crazy. It's not.
Same.
It's not scary, because it's not scary.
No.
But I see this like something that can be like Ghostbusters was last year. It can give us that scenic house, the memorable house, and I loved Ghostbusters last year's for what it was, but it wasn't scary at all to me.
No. It definitely, especially with the big old Slimer costumes, like, it wasn't scary at all. I mean, like I said, the scariest, the time where I get the most scared of that maze down here was when Gozer came out, and that was it.
Yeah. Our scare for Gozer was, she was on a ledge, and we were turning the corner, and it was just scenic. It wasn't even scary. She just, I was like, oh, this is very pretty. Like, I felt like I was strapped into a ride, and I was just enjoying a Ghostbusters like roller coaster. I don't know.
And yeah, I mean, just from seeing the Ghostbusters house, like, I think that they're gonna do. And now keep in mind, before I didn't preference this. This is all just speculation. This isn't confirmed or anything. This is just speculation. Like I said, they're usually right. It's just speculation, though. Before you guys go and take this as like it's actually coming, this is just speculation. If they were to do a Beetlejuice maze, I think that the movie has so many large and beautiful scenes, like you said, aesthetic, and I think that they would make it so large scale and make you feel like you're in the movie, just like they did with Ghostbusters. Because Ghostbusters, it really did make you feel like you're in the movie. Just from me watching the walkthroughs, it looked like you were just fully immersed in the movie. So that's one thing I'm excited about Beetlejuice. As far as the character goes, like you said, like the whole movie in general, I don't think it's gonna be scary. I think that, I mean, it's just gonna be kind of goofy and fun. What do you think the best scare will be in there?
The best scare, honestly, I can't remember their names, and it's killing me right now. But you know when the two people that are dead, when they try to scare the people out of the house and they transform their body, where she opens her mouth and has the two eyes.
Yeah. Those are gonna.
That whole scene is just gonna be probably the scariest thing.
Yeah, especially the guy. I forget what his name is. I just watched the movie the other night too.
I was trying to watch it,
but it's Barbara and someone else.
Yeah.
But the guy, when he does it, like, and he like pulls his nose down, like, that looks terrifying.
Yeah, I'm just like,
that's gonna be terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they're not like small scaled masks. I'm hoping that they're actual like big size. That'd be
like
cool.
They look true to scale. That's what I'm hoping for.
One thing that I was hoping for when I was like thinking about them doing this house is how, like, it would be cool to see if you could walk through her mouth. Like, to transition.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
The one thing I can imagine us seeing is just like how we had what's it called? The Mind Flayer last year in Stranger Things. That we'd have the giant snake worm towards the end of the house.
Oh, sandworm?
Yeah, sandworm.
Oh my god.
Whew.
I can't wait to see the sandworm on a large scale. Like, that's gonna be amazing.
No, the one thing that's really... Oh, my bad. The one thing that's really holding this property...
No, go ahead.
Is that Beetlejuice was at the first event. He was at Fright Nights. He was the advertisement for Fright Nights.
he was the original icon.
Yeah, so it's like it gives him his due. It's about time.
And for the 30th anniversary, what better way?
Exactly.
This is one of the mazes that's like kind of given. Like, a lot of us like know that, like I said, a lot of these mazes are speculated, but a lot of us know like Beetlejuice has to be coming. Like, it makes sense. Mm-hmm. Everyone's been asking for it, and I'm sure both coasts want to deliver.
Exactly. That's what I've been waiting for forever.
And with the success of Ghostbusters last year, like, come on, why wouldn't they do it?
Exactly. It just makes the most sense.
So, moving into one of your guys' original houses this year, speculated for this year, is the Terra Queen maze, or Terra Queen, as they have it on the map. Tell me a little bit about the history of the Terra Queen, because she's an icon from the past.
All right. So my knowledge isn't 100% here because I didn't go to the event back then, but I know that in 2005, Terra Queen was supposed to be the main icon of the event, but they kind of pulled the rug from under her and made the storyteller the icon. So the Terra Queen had these sacrificial points on... It was at Islands of Adventure. So in each island, there was like a sacrificial point. And I know that each house tied into her as well, some way, shape, or form. I could be wrong. Don't come at me, guys. But I was like, I don't know. There's a lot to know about the Terra Queen, and I'm still trying to learn more about her before we get hopefully we get this announced. Because I need to do my history.
Do you know if there were like any other mazes besides like the her sacrificial stuff, like in 2005? Or was it just that she was at the event?
I know that she was at the event in 2005, and then she was featured at 25. I'm not sure if she was featured at 20, because I know that they had a bunch of icons at 20. Can't recall. But I know at 25 she was in the icons scare zone in general.
Well, that's cool that she's gonna get her own standalone maze, or hopefully get her own standalone maze. It just makes sense for the 30th anniversary.
Exactly.
Because, like you were describing, she kind of just got screwed over, and she wasn't really the icon of the event in 2005. So it's kind of long overdue. Maybe she'll be the icon of this year's event.
That's what I'm hoping.
Who knows? Yeah, that'd be cool, because it seems like there's no set story as far as... Because there has to be an icon this year. It's the 30th anniversary.
That's true. Oh, that's... duh. She's on a 15-year cycle. That's another thing I forgot. Every 15 years she has to do these sacrifices. That's why she was at 15. That's why everyone thinks she's going to be at 30.
Oh!
That's what it is.
Well, that's interesting.
My bad. Yeah.
Then that changes the whole thing then. That means that, like, for sure she has to be coming in.
Exactly.
That just makes sense for the storytelling.
It's in the lore. They have to do it.
Man, that's quite interesting. Speaking of icons, we have the Dungeon of Terror maze, which I'm thinking is going to be the icon house.
Really?
Any thoughts on that?
Well,
I don't know. I feel like that. I feel like that's gonna be the icon house because I mean I know Dungeon of Terror was a maze back then, and it has been.
That was.
I
think it was featured like a solid 3 or 4 times at the event. I know it was at Fright Nights. I know it was at Horror Nights 2, and then I know for sure it was at 06 when they had the storyteller as the icon for that house. But I know it's the original like mainstay.
The only thing is like, is there a set theme around the Dungeon of Terror house?
That I know of? No. I remember that, because I did, in my Hallowed Past video, I talked a lot, I dove into the Dungeon of Terror, and it was hard to find concrete evidence of what was in the house. At least in 91
I know,
and 92.
all I read was just like, stuff, people talking about it, and that's about it.
It's like, I know that they had the rat lady in the house, they had... the cockroach man was in the house at one point. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. Can't really recall anything else that was there.
Hopefully this is... Because, I don't know, I just feel like this would be an icon house. It just... For the 30th anniversary, I'm sure they want to cram as much icons as possible in there.
I think something else is going to be the icon house. That's just me personally thinking. We'll get to it.
You think there's gonna be a standalone icon house?
It won't be like labeled as an icon house, but I think we'll have an icon house. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
If they were to bring back Dungeon of Terror and like us who didn't get to experience it in 2006 and past, then it'd be cool that we get to experience it.
Exactly.
Legendary Truth, Cary, Ohio. I know that there's a big story behind Cary, Ohio, which actually isn't that big. Isn't it like the creative, like one of the creative, that's their hometown?
Yeah, one of the creatives, that's their hometown. And
so do they just like set that in like every maze that they base Cary, Ohio off of?
So basically, there's real life Cary, Ohio, and then there's Horror Nights Cary, Ohio. Horror Nights Cary, Ohio has featured so many things from Horror Nights past that it's not even funny. Like, to my recent knowledge, we had the Cary Drive-In was used twice in the past, like, 5 years. Because at 25, we had All Night Dying double feature, which was, like, 2 movies. Right, yeah. 2 types of movies. We had black and white film, and then modern day, like, horse icons or whatever were there. And then we had Slaughter Cinema that had the Cary, Ohio Drive-In as well, which was that full house.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And what's the story behind Legendary Truth?
Legendary Truth? Man. Alright. So, Legendary Truth, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I believe it started in the mid-2000s. And it was basically an outside game that you can play along while you're at Horror Nights. And it would go weekly.
Oh.
Yeah, and you play on...
Cool.
I think it was on the Horror Nights... Yeah, I believe it was on the Horror Nights website. And then there was a link you'd get to go to the Legendary Truth. And then they had it... They have, like, these categories for the Legendary Truth that were the different types of characters and creatures. I can't remember the name of each character and creature, but I know that there was a couple. Well, more than a couple. There was a few.
Yeah. It's so crazy, like the history that goes into each year of HHN Orlando.
Yeah.
Like, there's always some type of Easter egg
There's always
And
Easter
John
eggs.
Murdy, our creative director, always talks about like Easter eggs in our mazes and stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean, every year in Orlando, it seems like you guys have an Easter egg for your houses or scare zones or
Mhm.
wherever. That's cool though. I mean, any plans do you think for the 30th anniversary that they're gonna do? Like something big that fans are gonna go crazy about?
I think it's this house right here that we're talking about. This is what I was saying when we'll get to it later. I think this is going to be the icon house.
Uh,
I think this is going to be our
this
anniversary house.
This one?
Yeah. Because there's so much lure
I
here.
think so.
It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they can just like shove every single like Easter egg possible into it,
Exactly.
that'd be so neat.
I go.
And
first.
I've
Go ahead. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. It's fine. I was gonna just say
Okay,
go
okay.
crazy about it.
I mean I have been so jealous of Jack the Clown over in Orlando. Like I've always wanted to see him. I've always wanted to see him in a maze. I've always wanted to see his like show, the Carnival Carnage. I've always wanted to see him. And now that if an icon house comes, they have to include Jack in it.
Yeah, Jack has to be featured. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I need to see Jack again. He's a great guy.
And like all the merchandise and stuff around it, like oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
The merch this year is gonna make me broke.
Yeah, and I mean we'll be helping out Universal because they're losing money, but
Exactly. Yeah, well, how about
For
you guys
sure.
with donations?
for sure. And like it's not like Hollywood where I can just wait till the last night where everything's on sale. Like I'm gonna have to buy it all then at full price. But it's fine. I mean I'm extremely excited for it. Nonetheless, even if some of these houses aren't true,
Mhm.
HHN 30 is still gonna be a killer.
Exactly.
All right, next is Billie Eilish. Ooh, I have a couple things around Billie Eilish. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
All right. So the day that this speculation map came out, the only reason I didn't make a video right away is because I wanted to see everyone's reaction to everything, and it seems like the genuine consensus is that almost everyone, doesn't want Billie Eilish at the event. But call me crazy.
Crazy.
I think it can work. If they take the model
I think so too.
that California does, that you guys do over there, and with basically what you guys did with Slash and Figure last year, I think last year, right? Figure was it last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, Figure was here last year.
Okay,
No, he was here last year, and he's been here throughout the event.
yeah. If they do that with Billie Eilish and create an original house with her music, like her own music, I feel like it'll be a hit.
It will. And the thing that I have noticed with Horror Night fans is everybody hates on something when it gets announced, and then as soon as they go through and throughout the event, they're like, "Oh, I love it! Oh my goodness, it's so good!" Like, yeah. What were you saying back then?
All right, hold on. I'll be completely honest. The last 2 years, Horror Nights has done that to me. I'll be completely
Really?
honest. I did not care at all for House of a Thousand Corpses when it got announced. I was like, I don't want to see this. I don't care.
Which, to be fair, to be absolutely fair, I thought it was gonna be complete shit in Orlando. Like, I really did. I
went
was
through
like,
it, and
this
that
is
was
a
my
Hollywood
favorite
thing.
house. It was my favorite house.
Yeah, and it seemed like everybody loved it.
Yeah.
Like, everybody loved House.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it just goes to show you that Universal can do it to you sometimes. There's just a lot of people that are negative about the whole lineup in general.
I don't know.
But,
I like the whole
I mean,
lineup.
there are those...
I guess I'm just
Yeah,
optimistic.
that's the word that I use to describe myself all the time is optimistic. Like with Billie Eilish, I mean, I made a speculating video about it in February, like about talking about her coming to the event possibly, and I mean, if it does get announced, then oh well, like I like you said, if they can pull off the way that they did, that they do over here in Hollywood, our music mazes, then I think it'll work just fine. And Orlando has the resources that Hollywood doesn't to make it even better. So, the only concerning thing is the fact, and now I'll dive into my topic on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Universal Monsters, The Bride, which is on here, I think that Billie Eilish is going to do the music for that maze.
That would be perfect.
I don't think that she's gonna have her own standalone maze in Orlando.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What I think can happen is last year we had our Lagoon show. I think they'll give Billie Eilish the Lagoon show, and then also give her the music, probably on The Bride. Like
that would make perfect sense. That just work out better.
Because people want to see her. Well, not people. The teens, the kids that want to see the same kids that wanted to go see Stranger Things the past 2 years, are the same people that want to go see Billie Eilish.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the crappy thing about it is the demographic for Stranger Things and Billie Eilish is still so huge, and Billie Eilish fans are younger than Stranger Things.
Yeah, I've realized that over the years. Over the year.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting. But I honestly, like, my personal opinion, I don't know. It'd be weird because Orlando can definitely capitalize on the music mazes, but that's our baby over here in Hollywood. You know, like music mazes are our baby. It'd just be weird because with Billie Eilish, because obviously she has to have some creative standpoint from this maze / house too.
Yeah.
I mean, would she really want to go fly to Florida to go work on that over there when Hollywood's her hometown, you know?
Exactly.
So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I like your idea of the Lagoon show, though.
Yeah.
I think it just makes sense.
That's what I thought when I first heard the rumor. That's what I thought it was going to be. Still think.
The Lagoon show?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she has plenty of, like, horror aspects that they can definitely do it.
Exactly.
And, I don't know. It would just work out. Instead of wasting a maze for her. But if it is its own standalone maze, then whatever. We'll see it. If you like it or not, then
it'll be a line guzzler. Everyone can just go over there, and I'll just go to Beetlejuice.
Yep, exactly. It'll definitely be in one of the sprung tents, though.
Well, based on the speculation, I think it's in the MIB tent. I think.
Oh, really?
Which is basically a sprung tent. Which is where they had House of a Thousand Corpses last year, for reference.
I was gonna say, isn't that kind of like a sprung tent? Do they just like enclose it, or?
Yeah, it's basically. I think it basically is a tent. Actually, it is a tent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird because isn't that location? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that location like the only I'd say outdoor maze?
Well, it's not really outdoors because it's still covered. It's a complete tent.
Yeah, they enclose it.
Yeah.
So they close like all the walls too with it.
Yeah, everything's like nailed down to the ground.
See, I wish we'd do that. I really wish we'd do that because we just have tents covering the maze and that's it. Yeah. Nothing on the side.
I've seen videos of walkthroughs in California, and I'm like, this is very confusing because I still see the daylight. I'm like, this is weird. I don't know how I'd feel about this myself.
And it's weird. It's weird for cash changes too because you can see them just like walking into the walls, and like when they open the door like to their brew holes, like you can see the maze inside.
Yeah, like, oh, that's that. Okay.
It is quite interesting, but Gremlins and Sabrina. I mean I put this in our little YouTube group chat. I think that I'm pretty sure they got scrapped.
You know, I'd be sad if one of these got scrapped, not both.
Yeah. I mean, they can scrap Sabrina.
Exactly.
Like, go ahead.
Exactly. Okay, so don't get me wrong. I love the show because that show is great. It's scenically beautiful. There's so many things in the show itself. But the first time I watched it, a friend of mine was like, yo, imagine this at Horror Nights. And I'm like, yeah, no. No, I can't see this at Horror Nights. It doesn't have that appeal. It's creepy and aesthetically weird, but I don't think it can work at all as a house.
Yeah, I mean, it has the aesthetically weird feel to it. Just, I mean, there's not a lot of scares that you can put in it.
Yeah. Like you can get a random.
But I mean,
someone coming out from the grave.
Yeah.
Kind of Spellman mortuary.
The Dark Lord, whatever.
Yeah.
Like they.
You can get goats.
There's not a lot.
You can get a puppet goat. That'll be.
It'd be like Roanoke.
Wait.
It'd definitely be like Roanoke.
American Horror Story Roanoke or 2014 Roanoke, like the house we had, the original.
American Horror Story.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, you guys didn't have Roanoke, huh?
It was okay. So we
Did you?
had the first year we had oh no, not Asylum. We had Murder House, Freak Show, and Hotel, and the second year we had Coven, Asylum, and Roanoke. Yeah, we did have Roanoke.
That's interesting.
It was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm tripping then. I am tripping out.
Yeah. No worries.
But I'm pretty sure Gremlins and Sabrina have been scrapped due to Warner Brothers, and as you guys who have been longtime Hornets fans, you guys know that Warner Brothers is a tricky company to work with for Hornets. Like one of the things that they do is they will give Murdy or the Orlando Creative properties to that movie or TV show, and then last minute they'll be like, "Just kidding, we don't want it," or like, "We don't want you guys doing that."
Yeah.
Which sucks. It really does suck, and I wish that Universal would stop working with Warner Brothers. Like they just need to stop because they're gonna get their hopes up for too much stuff.
Honestly, it's like
And
I remember we were supposed to have The Conjuring back at 2017, and that fell through.
we were supposed to have we were supposed to have The Conjuring for like 3 years in a row,
Yeah.
and they just kept pulling it.
Yeah.
It is insane. Same with like everyone says, "Oh, I want an It house. I want a Pennywise house." You know, guys, let me tell you right now, we're never gonna get an It house. You guys can come back to this podcast and hate on me if we ever do, but we're never gonna get an It house. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
It won't work, and I mean it would work if we were to get the rights for it, but we're never gonna get the rights for it. Just like we're never gonna get American Horror Story back. That is Disney. That is held by the big mouse, the powerful mouse.
Get Alien again either, like a standalone Alien.
Yeah, we won't. Yeah, we'll never get Alien, and that's one of the things. That's one of the properties I think that they would have done eventually.
Yeah, it would have made so much. That house is like, I remember Alien vs Predator was one of my favorite houses at 24.
I loved Alien vs Predator, like so much.
So
I mean, did you guys get it 2 years in a row like we did?
no, I was really confused.
Okay, well I hated that we got it 2 years in a row, but I liked it the first year.
you guys had the same exact house, right? Both years.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't changed at all.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, it sucked. I think it was a budget cut thing, but
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
As far as Hill House goes, have you watched that show?
I love that show. But
It's
I
so
need
scary.
to rewatch
It is so scary.
I watched it when it first came out and everyone was hyping it up. And I've watched so many things in between that time frame that I forgot almost everything about that show. I started rewatching it yesterday. I think I watched like the first 2 episodes. But man, that show is so creepy. It's so eerie.
It's creepy. It's scary. I mean, it's perfect for a Hornets maze, and a lot of people are saying that this is one of the ones that they're most excited for.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say we're over here in Hollywood. We're having it speculated in our one soundstage that we use. So
Oh wow.
I mean, it has to be good.
Wow. If that goes in the soundstage for you guys.
Yeah, I mean it'll be insanely good.
Oh wow.
I mean, then again, you saw what happened with our Stranger Things, so.
We don't talk about it.
Oh man. I mean, Hill House will be aesthetically pleasing. It'll be so
It'll be like
terrifying.
Crimson Peak, but better. That's the only.
Yeah, because Crimson Peak, it's just I feel like they didn't want to put too much into Crimson Peak because it's just the movie hadn't come out yet.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't want to give spoilers away. So Crimson Peak was a good maze though. It was beautiful, and it was a good house over there too. I saw the DVD. But yeah, I mean, I'm so happy for Hill House. Do you know anything behind Bedtime Stories? Like, what do you think that's gonna be?
So I've been talking to a lot of my friends about this, and we all have this bold theory that something that was supposed to come last year is gonna be featured here.
Mm-hmm.
Last year we were supposed to have a Tooth Fairy house. I think it's gonna be right
what
here.
Was it?
Tooth Fairy.
Oh. Interesting.
I don't know. I think it makes sense. I believe this is going to be something similar to Scary Tales. Because...
You know, and the Scary Tales was the one that everyone was hyping up, right? That, like, everybody loved.
Yeah, that was my first house of 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, first house I went through that year.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. I'm curious to see because I'm so used to Tooth Fairy at Not Scary Farm.
Yeah.
They finally got rid of it. But I've never seen another event take on the theme of Tooth Fairy. So it'd be quite interesting to see.
It got pulled last year because of we got Us. Yeah.
What was it they got?
They got rid of Tooth Fairy because we got Us. Jordan Peele's Us.
Oh, that's what replaced it?
Uh-huh.
That's interesting. I'm curious to see if there are any other themes around bedtime stories. Actually,
the only other thing I can
bedtime
think
stories.
of is the storyteller as well. The icon.
Wow, we kind of just like blew past that. Oh, that needs a little work.
No, I finished my video the other day, and right after I finished editing everything, I watched my video through, and I was like, wait, bedtime stories.
You're like,
we have an icon.
Storyteller.
Now, if it happens, I can't be like, oh, I said that. That's all right.
You know, I feel like a lot of my videos that I film, I do the same thing. When I'm speculating, like Murdy will tweet out a hint or something, and I'll be like, oh yeah, so and so, I think this is that, and I'm like, wait a second, why? Like, that could be Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Like, why didn't I think of that? it's so funny. You don't realize it until after you edit it and then you watch it. But I mean, bedtime stories. I'm excited for the theme. You know, it could be something that we don't even know. Like it could be Tooth Fairy. It could be the storyteller, or it could be something like that we don't know at all.
I'm 100% down for whatever it is.
Bedtime Stories is such a sadistic name, and I'm sure that's not the official maze name, because, like, what was it last year? It was, like, Avalanche Yeti, that was the first name. Yeah.
And ended up being...
And then, what was the other one?
The other one was,
Oh, what was the first graveyard one?
Oh, it was Kids in a Graveyard, or Ghosts in a Graveyard?
I think it was Ghosts in the Graveyard.
And it's crazy, because they actually use that as a soundtrack in the house. When you're walking through one of the scenes, you just hear some Ghost in a Graveyard. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. Easter egg.
That's so great. That's so funny. Easter eggs for the real fans who are just like listening or watching all the speculation maps and keeping up to date with everything.
Exactly.
Another rumor that's been going around. Since that map came out, and since the inside sources are saying that the two properties got scrapped, is Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting, because we've had that a couple years at the event. Have you guys had that once or twice at Orlando?
We had it in 2007, and then we had it in 2016. So yeah, we had it twice.
Yeah, twice. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I don't want to see Texas Chainsaw come again.
It's kind of vague.
Don't get me wrong.
I don't know. I've always had this joke.
I love Leatherface.
Because back in 2016, I didn't like the house. And I always told myself, if I went through it one more time, maybe I would have liked it. So if they bring it back, I'd be fine with it. Just one time. Don't bring it back again.
The one over here in Hollywood actually came out pretty nicely.
You guys had
the
Blood
2016
Brothers, right?
one. Yeah, Blood Brothers. Which obviously told the story of the two brothers. And it was cool to see both of them. And I think that they just actually did the maze pretty good, like compared to what we thought it was gonna be like. They just did the maze pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it again.
Yeah, if we can get something new and different, I'd be okay with that too. But.
Which a lot of people are also saying that Invisible Man, Blumhouse's, not the actual classic one, Blumhouse's. Did you watch Invisible Man?
I actually really liked the movie. I saw it right before they closed all the theaters. Thanks to this great thing.
I watched it. Yeah, this great virus. I watched it, and I was immediately after. I was like, it can work. Yeah. It can work.
It can work, because at first I was very confused. I'm like, when seeing the trailers, I was like, how are you gonna make it work when you can't see the man at all? And then towards the end, spoilers if you guys haven't seen the movie, I'm sorry. Click forward like a minute and a half. But
yeah.
When you see the suit itself, like when he gets stabbed a few times in the neck, and you see the suit itself, they can make that work. And honestly, I can see Hollywood working with this the most. not to say I know you guys hate the black walls, but with the black walls, that suit would be terrifying. Just coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean we hate black walls. Screw black walls.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could see what you're saying. I can definitely see what you're saying, and a lot of there could be a lot of special effects in it, like when he gets stabbed and stuff, or when the paint gets thrown on him.
Mm-hmm.
There could be a lot of special effects used in it, and I think it's one of those mazes. Like I don't know about you, but with me, when they announced us, I was like, oh, they're gonna mess it up. They're gonna mess it up.
Yeah, I was really skeptical. I was really excited for it to come to the event, but then I was like, I don't want them to mess this up. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's such a good movie that you don't want them to mess it up, and surprisingly, it was good.
Yeah,
it was really good. I mean, it was one of the favorite mazes over here in Hollywood.
Yeah, it was nice over here.
So
the first few weeks it was my favorite house, and then they switched.
And then you realized House of 1000.
Yeah, it grew on my heart. It probably didn't help that I had a friend that was Otis in the house, but.
Oh really?
Yeah, he'd give me some personal love.
Cool.
He almost let me take a pillow home.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, but Invisible Man is like one of those ones that if it does get announced, that this comes the event, I'm gonna be kind of hesitant. I'm gonna be like, oh, great.
Yeah.
Let's see them pull this off. But I feel like it's one of those ones where I'm gonna go through it and I'm like, I was wrong.
That's kind of how that exact thing is what people are gonna do with Billie Eilish. There it is. Boom.
Exactly, Billie Eilish. There's nothing really more on this list that people would be skeptical about. Have you seen any hate for anything else on the list?
Not really. Besides the ones that we talked about, well, Gremlins. I've seen people on both sides. People are happy and sad. Not sad, but upset about it, saying that it's not scary. But
yeah. I don't know. I feel like HHN 30 as a whole is going to be extremely good no matter what. I mean, it's the 30th anniversary, and despite the rumors about it being canceled, which I actually, for those of you guys who don't follow us on our socials, I tweeted out at both parks and asked them if it was still scheduled, and they both said yes at this time. It's still scheduled. There's no plans to cancel it. And I don't think it'll be canceled, honestly, but it could happen. Just to know that 10% possibility is there. I hope that they don't have such a tight budget for the houses.
That's what I'm hoping.
I really hope they don't.
I know the Orlando creative at least is working from home. They're all working on the event.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the good thing is I saw that one of your creative team members tweeted out here's my HHN workstation.
I think that was Blake. It might have been Blake Braswell.
That was Blake?
Yeah.
What I've been trying to explain to a lot of my fans and everything is you got to remember the creative team does most of their work on a computer. Mm-hmm. Aside from the set dressers and the construction workers, the creative team does all their work on a computer.
The construction doesn't really start until the last week of July or that first week of August.
Yeah.
So.
And that's major construction. You'll see the tents go up for Hollywood at least. You'll see the tents go up around late May. And you'll see them start to put the 2x4s down, scaling out how the maze is gonna look. But you never see walls go up in detail actually start until late June.
Yeah.
You know.
That's this year. I was really confused this year. So I went. What's the last time I went to Universal? The March 14th, I think it was, or 13th. I went and the sprung tent for the MIB tent was up early. That early.
For this year?
Yeah, I was they took it down because they took it down in December, and they put it back up in March.
I heard that sprung tent scenic work is already happened before the event closed.
Yeah.
Or before the event closed, before the park closed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing to look forward to. A lot of you guys got to realize that construction won't be in full push until summer, and by summer, it's looking like June is going to be the opening date for the theme parks, unless you guys don't stay inside. If you're out there running around being idiots, then it's going to spread.
Stay at home, guys. Stay at home.
If COVID slows down, and it has been slowing down the past 2 days or so, we could easily see the theme parks open in June. I don't think May. I think May's pushing it. I think maybe for the smaller theme parks it'll open, like Legoland and stuff.
Maybe.
But
Like, yeah,
as far as Universal and Disney World goes, like they're not going to open until June.
that's awesome.
I mean, I don't know. They're already. I'm sure they already have all the mazes developed. I'm sure they already are starting artwork on it. And if regulations lift, which you could have the theme parks closed and work regulations be lift, just like there can only be like a certain amount of construction workers on site, like maybe 15, they could still be working on the mazes or the houses. I gotta get used to that, calling them houses. But I mean, yeah, they could still be like they could have like a month of work on the houses when the theme park is still closed. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people think, that just because the theme park's closed, they can't work on the houses or the event at all. But they can, and they still are. So that's one positive thing to look forward to. But like I said, anything happen. Exactly. Losh, Mr. Losh TV, it's been a pleasure talking with you about this speculated HHN 30 lineup. Hopefully we'll see some of these mazes be announced. Hopefully. I saw something on Instagram that said that their first announcement's gonna come in June. So
yeah, I saw that too.
We'll have to wait a little bit.
It's alright. Patience is a
fine.
virtue.
Because then that means we'll get all the announcements at one time.
Exactly.
So we'll be overloaded with announcements.
Exactly. The content's coming.
We all
guys.
just gotta be patient.
Just wait.
Yeah, content's coming, and I'm trying my best to make Horror Nights content, because it seems like Horror Nights all of a sudden like blew up right now.
Yeah,
which
crazy.
I guess, to be fair, it's announcement season, so it blew up.
Yeah.
But who knows? Soon we'll get our
everyone's
announcement.
like, "Oh, Horror Nights."
Yeah, and everyone started talking about it.
Yeah.
But once again, where can they find you at before we wrap this up?
They can look up my channel, LoshTV. They can look me up on Twitter. It's King Losh. If you search LoshTV on Twitter, it'll still show up. And then on Instagram, also LoshTV.
There you have it. Make sure to check out his channel. He's been a great guest, giving me all this knowledge about HHN Orlando. And you'll see us together in a video when I go out to Orlando. Trust me. And as well as I plan to meet up with all those other Orlando guys, because they're all going to have like a big meetup.
Exactly.
That'll be fun.
A big meetup. A big vlog. There it is.
Yes, there you go. I have been Scott. You have been watching SoCal Exploring and listening to the Keep Exploring podcast. Positivity is key, everybody. Most importantly, remember to keep exploring. Peace.